I'm back. I see that my mic is working. I see green stuff, so I have absolutely no idea why that stuff didn't want to work. But I'm hoping that you can find me. Unfortunately, to those who I sent out the link, you'll have to figure it out. So sorry it wasn't working, but I am going to once again say hello and welcome, and hopefully people will find me at this site as well. I see green, so I'm assuming you guys can hear me. Is that a correct assumption? All right. Boy, that's funny. People will go to hedrick.com and won't be able to find me. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's see here. I would like to say, because it is coming up on Mother's Day, I've been thanking my teacher crew all week for Teachers Appreciation Week, and I'm now going to thank my mommy people. My mom died back in 2005, but some women have stepped up into my life, and I'm super happy to have them in my life. So I want to also shout them out. That would be Auntie Barbara, Aunt Jean, Miss Roz, Tina, Aunt Ro, Brenda Long, and Miss Ann, who has known me since I was an itty bitty thing, friends with her little girl. I want to thank you all for just kind of stepping up and mothering me and being here for me all this time, all these years, even as an adult, because even grown-ups need mamas. And this week I am talking to you about kind of intersectionality, the place where teacher and mom intersect. As you know, there are many, many, many women in the profession, and many, many of those women are also moms. Even if they don't mom full-time, they usually are somebody's surrogate mentor mom so often. So I would kind of like to talk to you about some mama strategies. We talk about othering and belonging and fighting racism and systemic injustices as educators, but I know that as a mom, that's super important to me. It's something that I've instilled in my son. It's something that we talk about sometimes with his friends when they're here, things that he talks about with his friends. And I always show this picture. This is what my baby looked like as a little one. And now he looks like a Black man. And that means that some things have changed for the way the world relates to him. And because that is the case, actually Small Bites was born. I've always been aware, but never so aware as I have been in the last couple of years since he grew facial hair and got taller than I am. So my strategies are for moms, and they are not divided into minutes, but they are divided into kind of age categories. So before you become a mom, I want you to, this is the first strategy, I want you to think carefully about your own ideologies and beliefs. Does your stance leave room for the beliefs and ideologies of others? How do you meet others? When I say others, I mean like us and them. How do you meet others in the real world, in the virtual world? Are you respectful? And are you ready to model being a good person by your highest definition for another human being? So what I'd like, before you become a mom, already be thinking about those things and arm yourself with intentionality so that you prepare yourself to model being the person that you hope your child will grow up to be. Because kids are watching, ooh-wee. Now, if you have littles, if you have ever watched little people bonk each other upside the head with a toy, then you know that kindness and sharing, all of those wonderful things that we say, oh, children are innocent, they are, but they can be mean. So those things have to be taught. Humanity, kindness, empathy, those things have to be taught. And I would say go to hedrick.com. Jen Court on her podcast had a wonderful conversation with Sarah Hershey. Listen to that. And also, if you've experienced racism, then you might need a different kind of a perspective. So Kamau Bell actually has mixed race kids. Mixed race is code for Black. In case you don't know, ask Barack Obama. And he talks about what it's like, how he talks about race with his kids. If you have middles, I would like you to go and grab my book, What is Anti-Racism? It talks primarily about Black racism, anti-Black racism. but it has really strategies for how we other and how we can embrace people, whatever they identify as, however they identify. It's a super important skill, and the nice thing about it is you can read it together. It's a short read. It's designed for middle school students. And whether or not you want to just have a conversation or whether you want things that you can actually do, that book actually gives you both. Now, if you have young adults, with summer reading on the reading list on the horizon, how about a family book study? These two wonderful people that I just found, Brianna or Brianna, please forgive me, I do not know. Anyway, Brianna Wallace, I'm gonna go with that for right now, and Autumn Gupta actually have something called Justice in June that they put out last year. And it is a wonderful way to spend either, I think, 10 minutes, 25 minutes, or 45 minutes. And you really get to not only read books, but learn about the context in which we other. And that's other, I use other as a verb because it's an actual psychological term. Go look it up. It's the way we set up our us's and our thems. And the way we other can be sometimes helpful. Hey, Steelers, no Cowboys. And it can also be unhelpful, like, I believe this and you're a bad guy because you don't. So Justice in June, thank you girls, thank you ladies, thank you women, thank you people, I'm sorry, God, I never know what to call people. Thank you, Brianna and Autumn, for your wonderful work. The last one, if you have solo flyers, if you are done and your kids are out of the nest or mostly out of the nest, this can actually be not as wonderful as we think it is. I have read that recently that families are having a real hard time navigating the political and ideological divides that are dividing the country. So if you have kids who I'm hoping that you raised wonderful, empathetic kids and that you yourself are empathetic and caring about other people. If your kids are caring about people in a different way than you, then embrace them, love them, respect their beliefs. If, however, you're kind of feeling funny in your tummy because Mother's Day is coming up and the last time y'all got together on the Zoom call at Christmas, it didn't go very well right after the election. If that is the case, I've got two resources for you. One is from NPR, one is from Time, and they give you actual things you can do. The one that I want to remind you that you can do is you can take a deep breath and walk away. You know what? Let's talk about the places that we share common ground. Because if you're family, you do have common ground. So if you cannot convince somebody to believe what you believe and not be convinced, you might have a nicer Mother's Day on Sunday if you're planning gathering. And then there's a last little lanyard for all ages. It's from one of my favorite resources, Common Sense Media. And it's great for kids of all ages. And the thing I like about it is instead of you telling them what you think, of course you want your kids to espouse your values, everybody does, but it asks them questions. It gives you guiding questions. So hopefully you can have them answer questions and learn from a very early age to be critical thinkers and to come up with their own ideas about how to make the world a better place. All right, that is it this week for Small Bites. So sorry about snafu at the beginning. I hope that you will all find me. I'm so glad. Good, Tracy's back. Hey, Mama. I want to say a happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for coming back with Tracy every week. I really appreciate you. And I do want to shout out one more time Auntie Barbara and Jean and Miss Roz and Miss Tina and Ira and Britta Long and Miss Ann. I love you guys. Thank you all once again for coming. Go to hedrick.com for all of these resources, and I will see you next Friday. How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it.